Merry Christmas.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
Merry Christmas, motherfucker!
Say it.
Merry Christmas.
Our